Bonjour.
Bonjour. Bonjour, Sylvain.
Oh, hello, Eli.
I'm going to open my window. No, I'm going to open my curtain. It's a bit too cold to open the window. No, it's still pitch black. At least now the neighbors can see me doing Tai Chi and get curious. All right, let's get into some movement, shall we? All right, let's move our bodies. Let's start with this one. Start with this one today. Open your hands out. Gently squeezing your shoulder blades back, lifting up, standing onto the balls of your feet, all the way up as tall as you can, and down. Same again. Stretch your arms up and relax them down. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Same thing, but up the front this time. Breathing in and down to the back, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Spine. Push your chest up. Stick your tailbone up. So bum going out. Pushing your belly forward. Arching that lower back. Pushing the chest out. Up. Head back. Elbows back. Palms back. And then breathe out. Fold everything in. Breathe in, open everything out. Breathe out, fold everything in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, this is a nice one. I haven't shown you yet. What you're going to do is just keep your body neutral, so keep your spine neutral. And from your hands down position, just lift your hands up and pull them open like so. But see, I'm keeping my elbows back, so I'm not just pulling my hands to here. I'm pulling my elbows back, all the way back, and pulling my palms kind of past my face, okay? But then from that position, you're going to hold that backwardly pinched position where your scapula are pulling back into the spine, and your rotator cuffs are fully externally rotated, so the shoulder is back that way as far as you can get it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to drop your elbows in, drop your palms down. But see how I'm maintaining that external rotation on the shoulders? So the palms are up. Then when I get to the bottom, hands are out to the sides like so, then I relax to the front. So you're going to lift them up, breathing in, relaxing down, breathing out, breathing in. But with this one, I don't want you to arch your back. I want you to keep your back nice and neutral. We're trying to bring this focus into the shoulders, the rotator cuffs, all the stabilization muscles in your shoulders. Very, very important for any time you're holding weight out to the front, where you're using a lot more of the front area, but the back muscles are what stabilize that, so you don't pick something up and, you know, have your shoulders hunching forward or something. That's when you injure yourself. So, open it up. Keep your back neutral this time, not lifting it up like this. Keep your back neutral. Squeeze it back. Open your hands down. And then relax to the front. Bring it up. In breath. Down. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. And then just keep it going without stopping. In breath. Out breath. You should feel all the muscles in the back of your shoulder start to warm up. I like to have a little bit of full body movement in everything I do. So I'm at least just rocking the weight. My weight's coming a little bit forward to the balls of my feet here, and then back into my heels when I drop the hands down. There is still spinal movement. The whole spine is moving, just in case you're asking that question. Just not like this. I'm not actively trying to arch my back like this, but naturally when you pull your shoulders back, you will have a little bit of expression from the chest, and then when your hands relax to the front, you'll have a little bit of a sinking on the chest. But it's very subtle this time. The dominant movement is in the shoulders. So that way you'll still feel like you're doing Taiji, you're doing Qigong, you're doing full body movement. It's just that spinal movement is very subtle, whereas the arm movements are very obvious. So look at the rhythm now. See how there's almost like it's not a pause, it's a slow down. It's a slow down on the squeeze, and then this part here is a little bit quicker, the drop into the up. So up, pinch. See, we'll want to milk this section where the hands are coming back, and even the first part of the dropping, you're still squeezing back, engaging those muscles, and then just at the bottom, let it whoosh up. Whoosh, whoosh. little faster. Still with that slow down at the top of the movement. If you've got any sort of posture problems, a bit of a hunchback, a bit of a gooseneck or something like that, this will really help with that because you're opening everything up. You're opening your chest up, you're squeezing your shoulder blades back, you're creating the rotator cuffs to pull the shoulders back. Everything that should be involved in creating this posture. See, this is back hunching, shoulders rounding, internal rotation. Internal, because a lot of the stuff we do nowadays here on phones, on computers, it's all internally rotated. So you open everything up. See how when I open the chest, the shoulders naturally externally rotate, you see? Because this is in here. When I stand up without doing anything with my hands, my thumbs are now kind of facing forwards. When I go like this, they're facing inwards. So if you need work on that, well, you can, do a bit more of that opening, which is what we're doing here. Putting that body under pressure. If you really want to strengthen your stability muscles, this is already nice and it's a really good warm-up to get all those heated through here, but do the same thing with a little bit of resistance. So, some kind of a stretchy band kind of thing. That one's too thick, but some very, very thin stretchy band, tie it on a wall, put it in a door frame or something like that. And then when you do that movement, when you're doing this part of it, this band will be stretching here and you'll be pulling it back. So there's a bit more resistance on your arms. You can do it also with a couple of light weights. If you don't have any kind of a band or somewhere to tie it to, just a couple of very, very light weights. Of course, you'll get a little bit more work here when you lift weights up. But at the top of the movement, the weights aren't really doing much because the pressure's just going down from the weights. So what you can do is the same exercise, but just ever so slightly lean your body, hinge your body forward from the hips. So instead of being dead straight, you just here like so. Not a lot, because then it'll be too much pressure. Just the tiniest little lean forward and then doing the same thing, because now the weight is wanting to fall that way, so you're obviously going against the resistance of that weight. So yeah, it's important to have strong stabilization. Stabilization is so much more important than the big muscles that move things. If you have slightly weaker, bigger muscles, your biceps, your deltoids, your pectorals, the big, strong muscles that lift and move stuff, you just can't lift and move heavy stuff. That's the only problem. But if you have weak stabilization, especially if you have weak stabilization but very strong, bigger muscles, it means you can lift something very heavy, but your shoulder's not stable in those positions, especially, maybe it's stable in one position, but then you go into an odd position and your shoulder's unstable. So the stabilization is much more important because it's more important for your shoulder health. So you don't strain a muscle and you don't get damaged, you don't damage your posture, you don't pull any joints, all that kind of stuff. So let's go into the legs. Again, stabilization. In the hips, in the knees, that's what's important. That's the most important element of strength training, is stabilization. So just sinking into that front leg and the rear leg, just moving around as we usually do. Just opening up through the hip here, moving the body around, feeling the heat come through the legs, moving the joints, rocking around, point the toe, flex into the heel, pushing the heel down, just moving that ankle around, rocking the body around, getting the legs nice and warm. Switch to the other side. Same thing, just wriggle and move around. And then just one quick one for the long legs. You're going to take a lunge, a long lunge, as to what listen to your own body as to what you feel comfortable. So take a long lunge, squat down into it, front lunge, stand up, open your body. So I'm facing this way, I've placed that foot out. Side lunge, open your body, turn to the other leg, turn your feet, front lunge, stand up, rotate that rear foot so you're facing the front, side lunge, stand back up, come back to the other leg, one more time, front lunge. This time we're going to come up, do the same thing to start, side lunge, but now we're going to come into a hamstring opening. So come up onto the foot. Of course, you can put your hands in front of you if you need to. So I'm on the ball of the foot. If you can see that under my baggy pants. Just lengthening, not hard, just sort of gently opening up the hip through here, like so. Bend your knee a little bit so you can sink further onto it and get the belly of the muscle waking up. You can also, in that position, so I can bend the knee, and then I can rotate the knee outwards slightly, like so. See, I've turned the knee out, so I'm hitting the outside edge of my hamstrings now. Just wriggling around, moving that hamstring. Okay? And then just stand back up again, do the same thing. So front lunge, come up. Great job, Gabby. Side lunge, and again, coming into here, sinking down. Up onto your toe again, sinking onto that leg. Put your hands down to really let your body sink in, move around. Move that leg, bend that front leg, open the hip a little to get down through here. And then just walk yourself into the center. Feet out at 90 degrees. Keep your hands on the floor if you need a bit of extra support. When you come up, if you need to, put your elbows on your knees for support. You see, like that. So you can sink down just a little way. Put your hands, put your elbows, put your hands. You see, so you can get lower without putting too much pressure on your body. If you do that same thing without the hands, you'll feel, oh, that's a lot more pressure on my legs, right? So if you feel like, oh, that's hard, walk yourself up. You see? Use your hands to take some of that weight off your thigh muscles through here. Okay, we're going to drill a little bit of small sansa today to get warmed up, get set up for the day. Okay, let's just go through it a few times, left and right sides. I'm going to start facing this way today, actually. Just change it up a bit. So you're just following along exactly what you see. Nice and flowy, large movements, really open everything up. Yeah. So here we go. Go again, opposite side. Yes, Gabby, what is it? Well, you can't go yet though, because I'm driving. You'll have to wait for me to finish, won't you? I know, that's why you have to wait for Papa. You can't drive the car yourself, can you?
No, I don't know how to drive it. Yeah.
Twice more, facing you this time. You can mirror me, you have to do a mirror image, so you can see a little bit more about the hands and possibly get a few tips just without me even talking about it, but just flowing through. Let's go again. Other way. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of things to think about with a posture, then we're going to drill it over and over again, thinking about those particular principles, and then choose another posture. Okay, I'm going to start you off the top of my head, one that I was just working with a private class with, because it's a very important point. Making sure that when we do these final movements, these ones here, that you do not deviate off this line here when you pull your hand through, you see? Deviated off the line. Deviated off the line, you see? So your blocking hand, that hooking hand, should never go out here. I mean, it's not like dead straight, of course. There's a little curve to it. So as I come over, see, there's a slight curve out to the side. What? And then back to the rear. But it's just enough to catch the hand. Think about your hands are here, right? The punch is coming right here, just here towards your face. So there's where you're going to catch it. There's no reason to move your hand over here, you see? That's just going to take all the momentum out of his strike. Give me 1 second. Could I have an arm just for 1 second? What are you doing, Clara? Okay, so the punch is coming here on my nose. I want to catch it, but watch. Throw the punch. If I go like that, see, I completely changed her direction. What have I done? What's done to her other hand? Look where her other hand is now. I've turned your body. You're going to punch me in the jaw with that hand, you see? Never, ever. It's generally not the best idea to block on the inside. You should normally be blocking on the outside. But we're assuming this punch is not coming dead straight. Someone's throwing, okay, if I'm here like this, right? If I throw a dead straight jab, she's going to want to block on the outside. So just showing you that to the camera. Look, boom. See, the fist is really coming dead straight through. But let's say I throw from this hand and it's slightly across my body. Now I can still throw like really through the center with that movement. Gabby, shh, quiet. You got to whisper, okay? Dead straight. But most people, because the shoulder's a bit open on that side, look where the hand's going to come from, you see? It's still a straight punch. It's not a round punch, but it's kind of coming a little bit from the outside. So for most people, if that punch is coming at me from just a little bit from the outside, so it's not a hook, but it's just a bit from the outside, then it's a bit difficult. You can do it, but it's difficult. So a lovely technique is to catch it on the inside, but you see, I'm pulling through here, you see, rather than me knocking her out here. Because when she throws that punch, if I block on the inside, I am vulnerable to the other hand. Hence, why, from that position, as it's done, I'll just show you sort of as it's done. Obviously, you wouldn't have your hands in this position from a fighting technique point of view. That's form compared to martial technique. We know that. So again, she's throwing that strike. What was I going to say? Something about this. Catch that hand when we block. When we block on that hand, I need to just catch it. Think about catching it. Because I need to pull it under this side of my body. That's what I was going to say, the sitting back. Look at it in the form. From here, as we do this technique, what? See, I'm already sitting back, aren't I? Yeah? What? You see? It's sitting back straight away. Never block the inside with any kind of forward intent. Because look, it's right there, you see? So if you have, for some reason, see here I can go forward. Because look where I am. I'm on the closed side. Right? So you can go straight forward. But if you happen to have to block on the inside, never go in if you're blocking on the inside. Sorry, inside with a cross hand block. Totally different if you're inside with the other hand blocking. Then you can come forward because, of course, your other hand will be attacking, covering or attacking, you see? So you're not exposed anymore. But if you're doing an opposite, like a crossed hand block, like so, then always move yourself away from the technique. But that's the point. See there's the hand. Look how much her hand deviates to the side. You see, I'm catching it there, and then look where my hand's going. Now, depending on, Fran's very loose at the moment, so obviously her hand is going out there. There's no forward momentum at this point. So you can see even the lightest little tap is going to move her hand that way. The more she starts throwing that punch, see, even with that pressure, her hand started going this way now. It didn't flick out as much. So the point is, you're making sure her body continues on the same line. when you do this technique. Throwing the punch again. No good. See, completely changed her line. Throw it again. See how much effort that took me to go over there? I was off balance. I was moving her over there. I didn't get anything out of it. Do it again. See where her head went then? Her head kept coming forward, directly towards me. Do it again. She's taking my microphone off, ladies and gentlemen. Shh.
Don't go on the trampoline, okay?
Yeah, don't touch that trampoline, Gabby, because that's the camera. Right, so again, catching that hand. There we go. What was I saying? Yeah. Look at the projection of her head. That's what we need to look at here. We take that strike. See there? Her head started moving that way, away from me. Or again. See? Nothing happened to her head. Do it again. Oh, look at that. Her head's look at that. Boom! Straight in with the elbow, for example. Now, obviously in the form, we come through to there, and that's our follow-up. It's a different way of doing things, but still, that whole side, everything's coming towards me. I've got access to everything. So I can hit her in here, or I can hit her over the top of the head, okay? For the purpose of the sansao, now some drunken dude throwing a punch, if I use that same technique from there, and you're sort of falling into it like if you're off balance, from that position, I would just come straight in with the elbow, assuming it's a serious situation, of course. So I wouldn't use the small sansao technique in that scenario. But let's say, for example, if you can do that to me, so you don't know this last move very well, but yeah, catch that there, pull it in and across the body. So I'm coming through there. It just makes sense. Look, elbow, boom, straight into the face, okay? But let's say I don't lose my balance. I'm still going to go in that direction, but let's say I don't lose my balance. Maybe I'm a bit better at punching. Okay, so she does the same thing, or now there's a bit of distance to cover, you see? That's going to give me the time to maybe, you see that's too far to throw an elbow. You should never throw elbows with a distance. It's too far. If you can reach, if you're here, use your hands. If you're already here, boom, use your elbow. You get more power. So you should only use the elbow assuming that my face is landing towards it. If I maintain my balance, see, look. But see, you still don't have a shot there because my shoulder's up, my hand's up. So in the small sansao, it's so important for the attacker, the person doing the punches, to do the correct thing to make your technique make sense. Otherwise, you'll be training the wrong thing into your body. So, do the normal small sansao. So you're going to do the catch there, but then come through with the other palm strike. Okay? So, she catches it here, and then she's coming through with that one, but that's traditionally done to the body, right? Into the ribs. Now, you'll see there that Fran instinctively went for the head. Because why shouldn't she? The head's a better shot. So, do it again to the head. Boom. That's a far superior shot than trying to go for the ribs. Unless she's seeing this. You see? Oh, yeah. See now? Now it makes more sense for her to hit there. So essentially, just do it very slowly there. I've got to throw my punch. But see, look. I'm not going to be able to cover with that quick enough. It's too extended. It won't come back fast enough. But what I can do is protect my face with the other hand and roll the shoulder up. By doing that, because most people, when they do, you don't want to get hit in the head. So you're much more likely to want to protect your head, even if it's at the sacrifice of potentially opening up your ribs just a little bit, but ultimately protect everything. But you know, if it's one or the other, I'd rather get punched down rather than up, right? The head's, that's knockout zone when you get hit in the head. So it's important for me not to stand here like this, because now she's learning bad technique. She's training herself to hit the wrong target. I want to make sure I'm moving like this to sort of go like, yeah, that's the spot you should hit. So that she's programming her reflex, her body language reading skills, that if she sees that is covered, her body instinctively goes for the open target rather than the closed target. Yeah, so that's a little idea there. But in terms of the solo form now, that's the main thing I wanted to show you is, see that? See where my hand is when I've done that technique? Look, look. It's right in here. It's not out here. It's not, you see? It's in. Thank you, darling. Okay, so, just give me a second. I'm getting a little bit warm in this jacket. And if ever in doubt, eat some oats. Okay, so what are we doing? Right, starting in the single whip position. Catch it, already sitting back, see? It's over and down. That's the first technique. It's not here. A lot of people do the technique straight out. It is not a straight attack. It's here. You see, it's over the top of his hand. The initial sort of pressure would be kind of cutting down at a 45-degree angle, something like that. Ah. Hooking. Sitting back. The other hand's already starting to bend, you see, coming back into my center. But now here, this is the important part. As I push back off this foot and bring the heels together, watch where the hand goes. See? It's almost flicking past my own chest in here, you see? Notice the angle of the arm as well. See how it's lifted up? The elbow has risen. It's like I'm in a, you know, when we do these kind of actions, these hinge block like this, only sometimes we use those hinge blocks up high as well. So it's the same kind of movement. Obviously the intent is completely different because the intent is going backwards and the intent is on the hand, not up here on the arm, but the physical rotation of the arm is the same. Because again, if I do this and keep the elbow down, when I'm pulling her arm down, her fist is going to get caught in here on my elbow. So I need to move it out of the way. Whoop. It's very, very, it feels like the old, you know, matador trick. They've got to let the bull go past. That's the whole point of that particular technique. Wait till the last moment and then, that's dragon prawn boxing right there. Bullfighting is dragon prawn boxing. I don't recommend practicing it on bulls though. Not for your sake, for the bull's sake. See how tight it is? Just maybe 6 inches away from your chest. Elbow is up, so that's got a clear path out through there, underneath your arm. Other hand's in here. Then you're going to come into your final position. 1, 2. So it's a wave. 1, 2 into that final position. Again, catch as you're sinking back. Hook it in. Again, in, elbow up. Hands coming to here. And see, there's a bit of dragon prawn going there as well. You're catching it here. See, the whole body is actually curving. I'm not going like this. I'll show you that way. So, see how I'm staying upright? If you do it like that, you'll understand this when you have someone throw a proper, hard, fast punch at you. You'll still get punched in the chest. You won't get punched in the face, so it's better than nothing. You've stopped him punching there, but as I said, his momentum still continues. You're not stopping his momentum. So because of that, his punch is still coming. So if I stay here, there's a good chance it still clips me and knocks me off balance. So, you see? In the same way that I'm moving my elbow out of the way to create a space, I'm moving my whole, you see? This whole edge of my body is, the bit which could potentially get hit is curving backwards and away from that target, that opponent's fist. See? And then everything just straightens back up to normal when I come through for the final movement. this version of the technique, of course, as opposed to this version of the technique. It's mainly there just to teach body mechanics and to help you to understand the qigong of your slow form, the structures and so on. It'll really enhance what you feel in your slow form. But from a martial perspective, you can kind of still have a little something there. A lot of the time people just go, okay, this version of the technique's not really for fighting. But I like to think that, okay, from there you've hooked him in. I've still got to hit him because I haven't hit him yet. I've got to finish him off. But there's another fist coming in here. Maybe someone's attacking me from that sort of side. So I got, shit, someone's hurt. Someone's attacking me here. Whoa, got him there, but something's coming here as well. So as I come back to hit him, boom! You see? I'm getting both of them. I'm getting that hook. I won't explain fully about the technique there, but essentially I'm attacking this guy and defending at the same time. It's like a slip block. Bah, bah, and then getting this one as well. So it's a double attacker, not just one attacker. Okay, that's why when you do the partner small sansao, never do I do this version of the technique when I've actually got someone in front of me practicing the form. Because it just doesn't make sense to your subconscious. Because if you've got no one in front of you, no training partners, your brain visualizes the training partners. For me, it doesn't really make sense. I've never liked the feeling of having a real partner and imagining a second partner. It just, it doesn't work well for me. So I prefer, in that case, to use that hand just to cover his elbow and things like that. So if I've only got one person, I treat it like I've only got one person. If I've got two people or no people, then I can treat it like I've got two people. Okay, let's drill it. I'll just do a few of those facing away from you so you get the idea from the back. Make sure you bring your heels together with this one. It's not your traditional full shoulder width back. It's bring the heels together and step forward. So each time you do it, you see, you're kind of coming in and out to the side. So I'm over here. Now I'm over here. You're moving quite a lot from left to right with these techniques because you're trying to get around behind him, you see. But you're still getting that nice swivel, that nice pivoting on that rear heel. It's just that the other foot is coming in closer. Okay, the other hand, it's got some nice little flow tactics happening here. So, like so. There's the as soon as I start to catch, that other hand is starting to just bend in, coming into guard. And as I hook it past and turn my body, see what that hand's done. It's a yang hand, like so, covering whatever happens to be there, whatever needs covering. Not necessarily striking anything at this point, because again, like I showed you before, it's on the assumption that the other guy's kind of throwing his strike and, you know, coiling back, covering his head, doing this kind of stuff. So when you're coming through there, you're just covering, you're just checking, like, oh, what's happening here? Then go out and hit him. That's another important element about that strike. You've got to make sure that the puncher stays at a decent distance away from you. If I throw the punch and really come crashing in, coming close to you, well then, as soon as you turn your body, boom, you've already hit me. It's like, there, you should have hit me now. Why are you waiting? But if you catch that hand and, oh, he's over there, you see? So maybe I need to step in. I need to reach out to get him, okay? So yeah, you've got to make sure the guy throwing the punch is at a good distance to make the posture make sense to do so. It doesn't make sense to step forward and move into him if he's already there. You should have just been going, catch, boom, hit him instantly. But then, of course, this footwork wouldn't make sense if you're going to hit someone at that point. You'd probably just want to go, boom, something like that, or, any other variation of stance. So, when we do this movement, you're catching, you're pulling him in, or you're thinking, oh, he's a bit too far away to hit him just yet. So I was just covering. That's like, sort of like neutralizing. What? You see? But see, this hand is a little bit yang. So when I strike out with my right hook this way, notice the left shoulder obviously loads. 1, 2, you see, like so, just loading the center. One's going before the other. But as that's happening, the left hand, look, getting that nice wave coming through the palm. 1, 2. So just be careful you're not going from that yang hand and just going like that. See, staying stiff. That's like doing your Taiji form like this with your hands stuck, stiff hands. So let your hand move, go from that yang position. And it's not a yang position here when I come through. You see, it's just a very soft yang, like that. Very gentle yang, not up like this. And then as the shoulders roll, 1, 2. See, little wave through the palm. When you're swiveling, obviously all the weight's on that back leg. Then there's just a little shift to the other leg. When your feet are this close together, your weight shift is, very small. As you step out. So as you pump that hand out, that's when you step. And then obviously, boom, bring your weight forward with the second strike. So it's pull it back, weight's in the back leg. Strike forward, shift the weight and step. Sorry, strike backwards, strike backwards, shift the weight and step. 1, and then 2. But keep in mind, that's an exaggeration. It's just, see? Don't turn your body too far this way. It'll make this feel very awkward because it'll be too open, and also it's just too much movement on the front here. So it's a small movement. You see, from here is just a wave. 1, 2. See, just a ripple through the body. Ripple, boom. Ripple, boom. Let's just do it a little bit quicker if you feel like it. Not necessarily explosively, just to feel a little bit of that whoosh, that momentum cutting back. And really make sure, just do it side on a couple of times actually. See there is this element of the head because the whole body is in that dragon prawn shape, so everything's a bit tilted forward. But of course the other hand's covering my head anyway, so I'm not exposed. When I come through though, straighten it back up. Be really careful you're not going and staying in a forward leant position. Bring your body back up to vertical. That was good. That was a nice, good repetition. I hope that helped with your form. I hope that made some sense for you. Does anyone have any questions about that particular sequence of movements? Did that all make sense, Sylvain?
Sorry, you listen to me? Yeah,
Yes, I can hear you now.
it's very good.
Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Je t'en prie.
Right. If there's no questions, I'm going to have some breakfast and then drive down into the Brecon Beacons and take the girls to see their cousin Penny and their grandma for the day. Well, for the 2 days, actually. We're going to stay down there. I'm giving Fran a proper break today. We're going to drive down. I'm taking the girls down. We're going to have all day today, stay the night, all day tomorrow, so Fran can just have 2 days of not being a mum. Mums need that sometimes. I mean, I'm quite a hands-on dad as well, but obviously I'm more like I'm doing so many classes, so I'm more like work. I've got all the classes running. I work. I do work stuff, probably 40 to 50 hours a week. So naturally, that means Fran takes care of the kids a bit more than I do. But yeah, she needs a little bit of a time off every now and again. So we'll go and see the grandma and the cousins and everything, and have a nice time. Fran can have a break. She's gonna fix up the table. Do a bit of DIY while she's home. Can't have her resting too much. All right, thank you all very much for staying. Tomorrow's class, 7 a.m. if anyone's joining for that. Just same sort of thing like this, just general training. I don't know what I'll do, but just a bit of this, bit of that. Yeah. So hopefully see you all at some point in the future. Good stuff.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.